What's up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle Milligan of KyleTheWriter.com, and today I have a bit of a cryptic title. It just says, all the books and courses in the world can't save you if... ... All the books and courses in the world can't save you if... One, first and foremost, you have no product to sell. If I teach you everything about sales, like for instance, if I give you... Let me think of cool metaphors. I can teach you everything about sales and copywriting in the world, right? But if you're not selling anything, if you're not actively trying to sell something, if you're not trying to go out and fail, right? Like yesterday we talked about imposter syndrome and basically embracing being bold, right? Being more stoked that you tried than whether or not you succeeded or failed. And I know from experience that when you first start out, all you really care is about making ends meet, right? You don't care about like being... Sure, the long game is be a big shot, but you need money to put food on the table now, here today, which is why I don't recommend anyone copies what I did, which is I just walked out on my job and started copywriting, or I didn't even start copywriting, I tried writing books, like novels and stuff. It was a hellacious 2-year journey to find me in copywriting. I think if you're going to start copywriting, do it as like a side hustle, try to figure out how you can fail fast. I would find a mentor or something like that and fail quickly. So those are some things, like, but none of that matters, right? You could know everything I've ever said front to back. You could have memorized every word of my book. That's something I should have done. I should have told you about the book. So I wrote a book about copywriting. Basically, this book will teach you how to use copywriting to speak directly to the emotional center of a customer's brain, which is their emotional brain, trigger their emotional reactions, like get them bought in and invested into your product. Then you can basically rile that stuff up, and you can sell them pretty much anything. That book is called Take Their Money, and you can check it out at KyleTheWriter.com/book. Now, even if you read that entire book front to back, and if you purchase my Upsell, which is a video course that has 5 research videos, basically teaches you how to do research on your customer, teaches you how to do research on your product or brand or your product, and then teaches you how to do research on your brand or guru. Once you find the place where all 3 of these things intersect, like what the customer wants, what the guru talks about, and what the brand stands for, and then what the product delivers, find that intersection, you got gold, baby. You just sprinkle in some new easy, safe, and big, which are the big 4 emotions, and you're golden. Like, you can sell pretty much anything. Only if you have a product to sell, and you're either working with a client who is a guru or a brand, or you yourself are a guru or a brand. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to sell. Like, what are we doing here? One of the little analogies I came up with, or my metaphors, I don't know if it's a good one or not, you tell me. If I give you a basketball, but I don't give you a goal, right? If I don't give you a hoop, what good is it? Like, are you ever going to learn how to shoot? Are you ever going to learn how to score? You can sit here and dribble and learn all sorts of cross-ups and all sorts of crazy trick dribbling skills, right? But all that matters is the scoreboard. And the scoreboard for us is dollars and cents. Sales, money, cash, right? That's what it's all about. Which is why I come down on people who complain about hype marketing. I come down on people who say, like, I've got too much integrity to hype up my offer, and I don't have to do that to make sales. Dude, if you want to leave money on the table, that's totally your business. Money talks. Don't be mad at the marketer for doing what works. Be mad at the consumer because they only pay attention to hype. They only pay attention. The only way to get their attention is to have some flash, something like to grab them. I say all this to say, like, you got to do what works. And at the end of the day, just reading books, right? So all the books and courses in the world won't save you if you don't have a product to sell, if you don't have a customer to sell to, and you don't have a guru or client to work with. At that point, like, you need to take action. All the books and courses in the world won't help you if you ignore the fact that facts don't work, okay? If you ignore the fact that facts don't work, all the books and courses in the world won't help you. For instance, my entire book is written about how to sell to the big 4 selling emotions. Those are new, easy, safe, and big. You can trigger these in your customer's brain. You are halfway home. Like the other part, knowing your customer, knowing the guru brand product, those things, knowing all that, you weave in these emotions into your sales message, and you are there. Where you will fail is if you are trying to sell facts. Because facts are a commodity and they do not grab attention. Because you can have like a quality fight for days and days and days, and like basically none of that stuff is an emotional sell. And science has shown that if you want to get someone to buy into something, someone to buy in, right? Someone to emotionally invest in this decision to want your thing. It starts with the emotions. This is literally science, because there was a neuroscientist who discovered that when the emotional center of a brain was damaged in a patient by a brain tumor, that person lost his emotional capacity. He could still score well in math tests, IQ, his memory, his reasoning capabilities were still 100%. His emotion was shot. This dude could not make simple decisions such as how to organize the files on his desk. Like, he was like, I don't know if I should put this file on top of this one or this file on top of that one. Like, we're talking like that remedial of a decision couldn't be made without the emotional center of the brain. This is where all the decision making starts. All right? And then once you get the buy-in with the emotional brain, the logical brain, okay, pretend you have two brains, the logical brain justifies it with the proof that you provide. Basically, you have to frame it within a story, okay? So, the next point, if you ignore emotion, all right? So the first point is if you don't have anything to sell, books and courses won't help you. The next one is if you ignore that facts don't work, well then forget it. You're already dead. You're dead in the water. The last thing is if you try to persuade people of anything, you will persuade them of nothing. And that's like a weird trick question, sort of weird like gimmicky thing to say as a copywriter. But essentially, you are not trying to persuade them as much as you are trying to create a frame, a story, a worldview that matches their worldview. The old expression is like enter the conversation happening in their mind. So when I'm writing to our customer avatar at my company, I'm targeting older conservative white dudes. And I know they don't like Democrats. I know they don't like socialism. I know they don't like this and that. If I sit down and say, hey guys, hear me out about socialism, it's a really good thing because XYZ, they are not going to listen. I'm not going to persuade them, right? I can't change their mind. Instead, the smart thing for me to do is to enter the conversation already in their minds, right? It's accept that their worldview is their worldview. You cannot change that. Not in a sales letter, definitely not. But what you can do is you can enter that conversation in their mind, understand where they are, and you can swim with the tide. You can swim with their preconceived beliefs, and then you can kind of start to direct those things more into the direction that you want to go. So if you, basically I think what number 3 would be you cannot change someone's worldview. You cannot tell anyone facts and convince them to do X, Y, or Z. Instead, you need to just rile up their emotions in a way that fits their worldview. So all the books and courses in the world will not help you if you're trying to change people's worldviews. That's something else. You gotta know your customer. I don't seek to say, okay, how can I change my customer's mind? I simply meet my customer where they're at with their worldview, and I offer the solution that they would like to hear. And I think I'll throw in a number 4. Number 4, all the books and courses in the world won't help you if you're afraid of failure, right? Like if you're waiting for that perfect template that never fails, then you are done. Just give up. Go get a job where you have to do the same thing every day and someone gives you a pat on the back and a gold star, employee of the month. You're the man or woman. Yeah, if you're afraid of failure, if you're afraid of the chance that this thing might not work, then you're not bold enough. Your ideas aren't bold enough. And they'll never make an impact. And because they can't make an impact because they're not bold or unique, if they don't have the chance to fail because they're too down the middle, then you are doomed to fail. So all the books and courses in the world won't help you if you run right down the middle of the road, if you play it safe, if you're looking for that perfect template, you do the same thing that the guy right before you did, you know? I want to kind of taper this a little bit. What I say is what we want to do instead, okay? I say we want to kind of model what works, right? Model what works. But the way we make it work within our own world is instead of copying, like you don't copy their promo, you don't copy their sales letter, you don't copy their idea. You instead try to figure out where they're triggering the emotions, okay? So that's what we do in my book, Take Their Money, is I show you how to go through a sales letter, because you want to do what works. But what you don't want to do is copy their idea. You don't want to take their actual copywriting copy. Instead, you want to reverse engineer and translate, as I say, what each line is truly communicating to the emotional brain. And you can see, oh, here he's triggering that. He's triggering safety. Oh, here he's triggering that this is new and unique and you can only get it from me. Here he's triggering that it's super easy. When you kind of start to see these patterns of how frequently this comes across, now that you've done your research about your product, your customer, and your brand and guru, you say, oh, actually, you know what? If that's how he triggers easy, my product, I could trigger easy like this. And then all of a sudden it starts to just come to you naturally, and you don't have to try to steal copy or like steal ideas or do anything cheap or cheesy. You'll speak the language of copywriting, all right? So that's what the whole thing is about, speaking the language of copywriting, because it is a language, and it's not communicated with the words on the page. It's communicated in the subtext that speaks directly to the emotional part of the brain. And once you learn how to reverse engineer that, once you learn how to translate that, then you'll be unstoppable, because then you can look at any piece of copy in any niche, and you can see exactly why it works, how it works, and then you can draw ideas from that and apply it to your unique product or brand or service, etc., etc., etc. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out, Copy Squad.